But the best thing though is I've also been playing Panzer Paladin.
Okay, that's what I want to hear about. Tell me all about this game. You're playing
Yeah,
this on Steam, right?
playing it on Steam. Yeah, it's on Switch now too. It has this very it's like an 8-bit anime. Like the opening cutscene to the game is like an OP from an anime. It's great. It's fantastic. It's more. It has the visual presentation of Mega Man, where it's like, you have like your boss list and you pick your boss and you go through it. But it doesn't really have sort of the progression of Mega Man, where it's like you beat the final boss, so you get their weapon, and then you need to sort of like, what's that weapon effective on or anything. It doesn't do that. It's closer to Blaster Master than anything. If you ever played Blaster Master, it's because you're in a mech suit and you can get out of the mech suit as well. And sometimes you have to. That's how, like, if you need to get more life, you have to get out of the mech suit. There's these canisters. When you're out of the mech suit, the only weapon you have is like a Castlevania style, like electro whip, that you can also use to swing around and stuff, which you can get some really interesting boss fight mechanics of like jumping in and out of the suit and swinging around.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so the combat revolves around weapon durability, 100%. You have a punch.
Another game with durability on the Switch.
Yeah, it's very much. It does the weapon durability stuff almost exactly like Breath of the Wild, except better in a way. You're constantly getting weapons, just nonstop deluge of weapons, and so you attack with them, and they're all different types of swords and sword related spears and axes and blunt objects and stuff, and they all have different classes, and certain classes can break certain things to like get in the secret areas and stuff, and they all have durability, so you can use it so many times and then it'll be destroyed. You can throw it for like a super attack, basically, and once it makes contact, most of the time it gets destroyed. One of the cooler parts, though, is the way like spells and stuff, because it has like this very minor RPG situation going on. So you have like spells, and in order to use spells, every weapon has its own like thing to it, its own buff or its own magic attack. So the only way to access that is you hold down the 2 triggers and you break the weapon yourself, and it unleashes whatever it is. Attack up, defense up, shoots out a magic beam, clears out the screen, whatever. So, but once you break it, you don't get that weapon back, and weapons are sort of finite in the level, it seems like. I've been stuck in some really tricky situations because there is no like going back either. It's like Super Mario Brothers 1. Once you're off the screen, you're not really going backwards. And so you can only hold like 4 weapons at a time or so. And the extra ones that you collect go to like a bank that I'll talk about in a minute, but and checkpoints are weapon based. So if you have a weapon, you have to choose which weapon you want to sacrifice, and you put it in a pedestal. And the pedestal is your checkpoint, and you can reclaim the weapon, but you lose the checkpoint. And those are usually always before boss fights. So you really have to really think hard about how you're going to use this checkpoint. Because it may behoove you to lose the checkpoint because it'll send you further back into the stage, but it'll let you collect weapons again. But yeah, the whole weapon system is like it's brutally hard. It's very much one of those games where it's I think like NES Plus is what, because it doesn't really play like an NES game, but all of it feels right. It's doing a lot more visually and sort of mechanically than any NES game probably could, but everything feels right in it, in terms of it feeling like how you remember an NES game playing if you haven't played one in a very long time.
Like visually and aesthetically, it's sort of reminded me of Metal Storm. Just kind of the pixel size and the layout, but it definitely seems more than that.
And I mean, these it's Tribute Games. So like one of their last.
Yep.
Like I like Wiz Orb, which is just RPG Breakout, and Mercenary Kings, which is just Metal Slug. And like, yeah, this is like Blaster Master, Mega Man. It's a little bit of Legend of Zelda 2, Link's Awakening, a little bit of that in there.
I appreciate that. That's good.
Yeah,
it's always a positive. Yeah.
You know, it has the downward attack from like Shovel Knight and like DuckTales and Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening and stuff. So, you know, the pogo stick style downwards attack. It's very, it's Shovel Knight did a great thing, and nobody's really been able to replicate it. But I think this is kind of like the next one of these. It's absolutely fantastic, and I can't really recommend it enough.
Sweet.
It's got a lot of other stuff too. It's got like boss rush and speedrunner mode and like increased difficulties. It has an easy mode, but I'm bad at video games, and I've been tempted to hit easy once in a while on this game. But I'll tough it out. I'm getting there. It's hard. It's not the game. Like the levels aren't necessarily hard, but the boss fights are all brutal. And
the aesthetic
all the bosses, all the bosses are like folklore-y. They're all like, it's an Anubis, a Medusa, like Baba Yaga, horsemen, things like that. Yeah,
John Wick is in this.
The bosses are all really cool, and you know, you get a weapon from the boss, but it's not like Mega Man where it has durability, but in order to like upgrade your character, all of like your extra weapons you can just kind of sell them off and sort of like forge them into XP to like increase your health and everything. So it behooves you to just collect all of the weapons, everything that you see, grab it, and you get to design your own sword.
Now that I've been seeing people mention that, and what doesn't it like appear in somebody else's game?
It's exactly that. So you agree. You agree to the like this can appear in somebody else's game. So you know they're trying to tell you, please don't do what we know you're about to do.
Don't do too many boners.
No, you don't have to recreate the dildo bat from
Saints Row.
Saints Row, thank you. I forgot what the series was.
But you absolutely can, and you get to like choose its stats and like what its like effect is and everything, and you get a lot of space to draw too, so you can make some pretty impressive weapons. Like if you're good at pixel art, you can do some really impressive things with this sword editor. I've seen some crazy stuff already, but. I can't wait to see more of it. Like just random shit popping up in my game will be great. Just it's like the Buster Sword has already showed up and things.
Very cool. I'm looking for. I'm gonna play it on Switch. That's for sure. I'm curious to see if any of the weapons people create on PC show up in the Switch version. I don't know.
I don't know if that's. I don't know where that cloud is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What it's Speaking of Buster Sword, you don't know where that cloud is.
Yeah, there we go.
Smart. See, excellent. So Panzer Paladin.
Yes, A+.
Love it. Cool.